Hello, everyone. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Donna, and I am the Creole Crafter. Today, I have 3 vintage farmhouse DIY projects. So let's get started with DIY number 1. Here are the supplies for this project. I have a Waverly Antique Wax, a galvanized mason jar sign from Dollar Tree. I also have some scrap fabric, some burlap, and ribbon from Dollar Tree. I have some Scrabble tiles, stamp letters, and a little wooden squirrel, all from Dollar Tree. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to take my mason jar and I want to make it as vintage as I possibly can. So I'm going to take the antique wax and stain the base of it, and then I'll take a sponge and dirty up the entire mason jar. And I want this to look really, really vintage and old. So I'm going to do like a heavy antique wax on it. And I'll do the front and the back. And now that I have that done, I'm going to set it aside to dry. I'm going to take my fabric and my ribbon, and I'm going to use some hot glue to layer it. And I'm only using little small amounts of hot glue, just enough to hold it together. Then I'm going to take my Scrabble tiles, and I'll be working with the back of the tiles. I'm getting my placement on my fabric, and I'm going to use my hot glue to adhere them to the fabric. And now that I have that done, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp letters, and I'll also be using my calligraphy marker. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some ink on the letters and stamp each one of the Scrabble tile pieces to spell out the word fall. And after each stamping, I'm just going to take a baby wipe and wipe off the ink off of each one of my letters. And now that that is done, the next thing that I want to do is I want to vintage up the fabric and the letters. So I'm taking some antique wax and I'm just brushing it across the fabric. Now I'm going to take the fabric and I am going to center it in the middle of my mason jar with hot glue. I also embellished with some jute twine, made a bow and a little pretty daisy flower. And you'll see more of this in the final reveal. DIY number 2. Here's what I have for this. Here are the supplies. A galvanized house from Dollar Tree, more antique wax. I also have some more of those Scrabble tiles, stamp letters, a maple leaf, and I don't think, no, I'm not going to use the fabric, but I'm just showing it to you here, but I won't be using it. I'm going to change my mind in the end, but I'm going to go through the same steps with vintaging, or in other words, making the house look very old, with the antique wax. And I'll do the front and the back. And I'll follow the same steps as DIY number 1 with the stamped letters and the marker. And so what I decided to do, instead of using the fabric, I decided to take the maple leaf and just glue it to the center of the house. And then after that, I realized that it was too large for my liking. I didn't like it covering as much as the house as it did. So you'll see in a minute what I did was I got another maple leaf, a smaller one. I cut that one down to size, the bigger one, and I layered the little one on top of the bigger one, and then I glued it to the center of the house. Now right here, I'm taking my Scrabble tiles and I'm just getting my placement to hot glue them at the base of the house. And I'm also going to take the little squirrel, give it a coat of antique wax, and I also will be hot gluing that to the base of the house. And this one is done. I think it came out absolutely adorable. I added a jute twine bow and a lace bow. And yeah, you'll see more of it in the final reveal. DIY number 3. I have some apple barrel paint in apricot, Tuscan red, and jack-o'-lantern. I have 2 scrap pieces of wood. I think they are like the head posts, top of a head post from a bed, some raffia, and some ribbon. What I'm gonna do is take my 2 wooden pieces and I'll be giving them 2 coats of the paint. I took all 3 colors and I mixed them together to get that like burnt orange color that I wanted. And now that they're completely dried off camera, what I did was I took the antique wax and I just went over the entire piece to give it that old rustic look. And I have 2 stems, sticks, in other words, on my yard cut down to size for stems. I'm gonna hot glue that to the top. I have a piece of raffia and I made a little simple bow out of the ribbon, and I'm gonna embellish my little pumpkin with that. And I'll do the same for both pieces. These little pumpkins came out just as cute as they can be, and you'll see them more in the final reveal. right here. I'm just fussing with them a little bit, but they are done. And here is the final reveal. I think they came out absolutely adorable. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. I'm going to take this time to thank all my subscribers. Thank you guys so much. You are so deeply appreciated. Thanks to all my new subscribers. Hello there. Welcome to the family. And if you're just stopping by today, hello there. And thank you for watching. If there's anything in this video that you like, give me a big thumbs up. Also consider subscribing. It is absolutely free. All you have to do is just hit the button and I'll give you a minute. I'll wait for you. And now that you have hit the button, thank you for subscribing. And don't forget the notification bell. Click it, drop down, click all. YouTube will notify you when I upload another fantastic video. Again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.